I'm Matt with etrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the buyer's product motion sensor LED light. Now this is going to be one of those lights that are super bright, so perfect for those enclosed areas like our trailer today. So let's take a closer look at it. Here at etrailer we have a ton of different lights. Some are going to be warmer, some are going to be brighter. It's just going to depend on what you're looking for a light. Now this one, I can barely look at it because it is fairly bright, but the unique thing about it is, again, it is going to be motion censored. So we'll have some with switches, some without switches, but what's great about this is if you're like me, you forget to turn off your lights and you walk away, this is going to be one that turns itself off. All right, so we did a little bit of testing with the sensor on the light, and I found that it takes a little bit over 30 seconds to shut itself off. Now the range where it's going to pick up movement, I found if I'm walking kind of wide around my trailer, most times it's not going to pick me up. Now if I actually want to walk inside of my trailer, right about here, when I'm kind of directly in front of it, that's when it's going to start kicking on. So I kind of personally like that because I don't want this to be tripping off or starting up if I'm super far away and I really don't need that light. I did want to speak a little bit more to the quality of the light we have here. So since it is an LED light, that means two things for us. One, it is going to output a fairly bright light. When I compare that to even other LED lights I have in my trailer right now, this one is much brighter than those. The other thing too is it's going to be more of a cool colored light. So to me that makes things feel a little bit more clean. And I think for a work trailer like we have right now, this is perfect. You can find some other lights that are a little bit more warm, which I think are more nice for cozy spaces. Now, something else I do want to talk about is going to be the size of this. So this is going to be fairly compact. It's going to be around 5 inches in diameter, so it doesn't take up very much space inside your trailer, and it's going to be fairly flat as well. But that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot to it. It is a fairly unique light when I compare it to some other ones that we have here. Now, if you guys do decide to go with this, let us know how it's working for you and show it off in either a review or a picture so we can see how it looks in your space. Now, for the installation, it really isn't too bad. You just need to have a couple tools on hand and a space to actually mount this to your wall, but we do talk about some tips and tricks to make this a little bit easier for you. So let's jump to that now. All right, so a good place to start with is going to be the light fixture itself. So we'll have to flip this around. I've already kind of got mine prepped up, but I'll show you the process to do that. So when you get this, you're going to have 3 screws on the back of here. Just grab a Phillips screwdriver, remove those, and then we're going to find these tabs here. You can tell where they are because they have a little indentation. And what you'll want to do is grab a flathead screwdriver, apply pressure directly towards it. It'll eventually pop out. You're going to have 3 locations for that. Once you have them all removed, you can kind of use a screwdriver to kind of pry on it, and then it will be removed. And then you can just set the cap away for the time being. And now we're going to grab our light and connect our wires. Again, make sure you do have the power disconnected because we don't want to shock yourselves. And I'm just going to connect our red wire, which is going to be the power, to the power wire over here. Now, if you have a trailer that's going to have a lot of moisture that's going to be exposed to the interior walls, then I'd recommend using some heat shrink butt connectors just so you don't get any water damage there. Ours is going to be pretty well sealed off today, so I don't really mind using wire nuts. And now I'm going to connect our grounds, which is going to be the white. Once that's connected all the way, I'm going to test our power. We know our light's connected now because I tested it. We do have power. I disconnected that. And we can actually start drilling this back to our wall now. Now, what I'm going to be doing is kind of setting this up in a spot that I think works well for my setup. Once you find a good spot for you, then you just mark out where these holes are placed, come back through with a drill, and make some pilot holes. I'd recommend using a fairly small bit because these are going to be some pretty small holes. And then we'll come back through with our included hardware and screw this to the wall. And you are still going to have that smaller hardware. Don't worry about it, the one that we took out initially, because we won't be able to reach it from the back anyways. Instead, we're just going to put this back on the top of it. This is going to do a really good job holding into place. So when I flip this around, you're going to notice we have a fin here. And that fin is going to line up with this kind of slight opening we have here on the side. So once you line that up, this will help us clip everything into place. Right there, you can kind of hear that clip, letting us know this is all the way seated down. And then we can connect our power again and be good to go. If you guys have any other questions, let us know here at eTrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.